What's up? It's your boy ET. Look, if you're looking to or you got to raise the bar on your marriage, you gotta click the link and get into Married and the Crazy, y'all. I'm telling you, this coaching is gonna take your relationship to another level. Now look, you already know you need to raise the bar. You know that already. So stop thinking or overthinking. Click that link, and Marriage and the Crazy is gonna take you and your spouse to marital bliss. Now you know. Click the button. Let's go.
Welcome to another episode of the Married and the Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey. I'm Lovey.
I'm Snooks.
And it is so nice to be back in the studio, back in the house of love, back in the crazy studios. For those of you that are new, why are you laughing?
He said it's so good to be back in the house. Like you got kicked out or something.
I feel like that. I mean,
I know it's been a minute.
The season that we're in, we've shifted our recording schedule to make sure it's not too overwhelming because of all the stuff that you have on your plate, with all the stuff that, adjusting our household to Isaiah.
Wait, you said you feel like you've been kicked out the house?
No, just out the studio.
Okay, got you.
So for those of you that are listening for the very first time, we welcome you.
Welcome.
We're a couple that's been married for 26 years, and we've gone through some things. So go back and take a look at some of the early episodes, specifically the very first one, Bamboozled. And then as you progress, you'll hear the story unfold. But the bottom line is that
we are still here.
We are still here. Before we got married, during our engagement, immediately, like almost as soon as we got engaged, I ended up getting stabbed. Knife went all the way through my heart, had 2 open heart surgeries. Oh, did we mention that it was her ex-boyfriend that stabbed me? That's an important fact.
That sounded like you was throwing shade, though.
No shade.
And the way that you looked at me kind of...
Side eye?
No, full eye.
No, we're laughing about it now, but it was one of those things where...
It's not funny.
Stuff. We've been through some stuff. And then, of course, there's the little thing of Snooks asking for a divorce 4 years after we got married. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't uncalled for. It's just that, you're supposed to deal with it. That's not true.
Okay. You trying to get put out for real, right? Okay.
No, but these are the things. There's that and so much more that we've been through. And we've decided to actually share our experiences, bring you subject matter experts, other couples that have gone through things as well. We've had people on the show that have ranged from professional athletes through Grammy award-winning artists, and their amazing spouses that have helped them through these things, right? And it's always a story of adversity and overcoming that. Mm-hmm. And so what we want to do is just kind of bring you up to speed on what's going on with us, and also there's a really nice topic. We want to talk about the top 3 reasons why you should attend a marriage conference.
So, it's not just out of the blue, like, hey, let's talk about why you should attend a marriage conference. We actually attended a marriage conference.
An amazing marriage conference.
It was phenomenal. We had such a great time. We met some wonderful people. We got just poured into, and yeah.
Shout out to CMCR, and that stands for Christian Marriages Commitment Renewed. And it used to stand for something else, but they changed it. This marriage conference has been around since 1979. Every year, with the exception, I think there was during COVID, there was 1 year for sure, potentially 2, where they were not able to meet just because of all the challenges that COVID presented. But since 1979, mm-hmm. there's been an assortment of individuals that have met under the umbrella of CMCR.
Yeah, it used to stand for Christian Marriage Couples Retreat.
Right.
Which, it is a couples retreat and it is Christian based, so that made sense. But they changed the name. I think she said some years ago.
2.
I don't remember. Was it just 2?
So it's new.
Oh, coming out of COVID.
Coming out of COVID, they changed the name because it had to be something to do with, renewing the commitment to your marriages.
Because if just keep it real, a lot of marriages maybe didn't make it, and if they did make out of COVID, out of COVID. Light was shed on a lot of things that happened inside your home during COVID. You got people that have been in the home 24 hours a day with each other. I mean, the numbers for abuse went up dramatically.
Dramatically.
So, you got you got this wonderful person at work, and then you come home and you're a beast.
Well, and it's a challenge because think about it. During COVID, there was a period where you didn't get to go to work.
No, I'm just saying, some people, it's like the masks were pulled away.
It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah. So now you can't hide.
Well, and when they were home, they was like, "Oh, who are you? I'm used to being away from you for 8 to 9 hours, and now I got to deal with you all the time. No, I'm not sure I even like you anymore."
Mm-hmm.
And then that's why there were a lot of challenges with that. So, with that said, this amazing conference, it would talk about the talent, the musical representation that was there, was just off the charts.
Man, when he pulled out that saxophone,
it was pretty
I was
amazing.
like, yes, yes, yes. Anyway, I mean, it was just a great time. Here's the thing about I'm just kind of going to jump right into it. Here's the thing about going to for me, going to a marriage conference.
Mhm.
You get to focus all of your attention on your spouse. We talk about being intentional, and sometimes it's really hard to be intentional when you have all of this outside noise. I like to call it noise, or these outside distractions that are always plugging at you, pulling on you. You got this to do, you got that to do, and then it's like you have a glass that's full, and you keep pouring. I'm pouring here, I'm pouring there, I'm pouring there, I'm pouring there, I'm pouring there, and now I have maybe a fourth of a cup left, and that's what I give to my spouse.
The leftovers,
pretty much. And your spouse, though typically they understand, they might feel some kind of way about that. And even in the beginning, maybe, oh babe, I get you, I got it. But then sometimes there could be resentment that sets in, like, oh, you got time for everybody else, but you ain't got time for me. Are you serious right now?
Well, think about it. How do you feel? Let's make it more practical. Imagine going to a buffet with the most amazing food that has been advertised, and everyone's talking about, oh, you got to go check out this spot because the lobster is amazing, and the steak is always prepared just right, or it's got this vegan platform where it's just amazing, or you just don't even know how great it tastes. It's just because you've never experienced it. And you think, yeah, it's been built up to be this amazing thing, and when you get there, there's scraps. It's been picked over. There's only like a few crumbs here and there. It looks like something good was there, but it's no longer there, or there's a portion of it, or you got the edges cut off. There's just, but it's not what you thought it was going to be because it's been built up.
And the restaurant doesn't replenish what was taken away.
Exactly.
So,
and you keep hearing about how great it used to be, or could have been, or how great it was for somebody else.
You should have got here early.
Right. Well, and our marriages shouldn't be like that. And yet so often it is. And it's not through anybody's fault, because you have to be extremely intentional about how you're approaching your marriage.
We talked a lot about that. I feel like us as a couple, we always talk about being intentional. You have to be intentional. And it was just great that other people were thinking the same thing. You have to be intentional. Ain't nothing gonna happen by accident.
No, the keynote speakers, I say speakers, it was a Christian event. We make no bones about it. We let you guys know that, had I been around during the time of Christ, I would have been a 13th apostle.
Yeah, they know the story.
I know, but I love telling it, but I'm not going to go into it today. But no, it was amazing. So the word was brought on Sunday by, Pastor O.J. Swanigan and his wonderful first lady. And we had a chance to facilitate. Here's the thing. We were already booked to go to a marriage conference, one that we were going to attend. And then this group had reached out to ask if we would facilitate. So we did a 2-hour segment on Saturday, and teaching to the group. And mind you, there was over 750 years of marital experience in this conference. There were couples that ranged from being married just 1 week,
Mhm.
all the way to 62 years.
Let me speak on that right quick. I love when they stood up, the young couple, and they stood up and they had just been married for 1 week. It is like, you know, they saw the value in coming to a retreat. It's like, okay, I love you, yeah, we could be off in Bali or wherever, Maldives, wherever, staying at home. Who knows? But they saw the value in saying, no, let's go get some nuggets. Let's go get some
Right.
tools. Let's be around the people um with the experience that have something to say, so that we could be part of that 62-year old, you know, when we stand up years and years later, we're still going strong at it.
To hear the
So
wisdom. And that's one of the reasons, one of the 3 reasons why you should be able to connect with other like-minded couples.
mhm, mhm,
When you attend a marriage conference, you have the opportunity to not just only share your experiences,
mhm.
but you actually have the opportunity to learn from others and gain support and encouragement,
Mhm.
right? Because let's face it, we're all human. We all go through stuff.
Yeah, and and one of the things about going to a marriage conference is, while you're there, you're focused, and it's easy to be, oh, I'm so in love and I refreshed, and but then when after I leave, then you come back to the regular minutia
Of life.
of life. The connections that you made while you were there, you find you some folk that, and we always talk about it. We have an iron tribe, and it's
Let's we do have an Iron Tribe, so you can always go to Facebook
oh.
and see and visit and join our free Facebook community that is called Iron Tribe, the marriage community, where we drop nuggets in there, and there's a variety of other couples that actually share in there as well. And we welcome you to come and be part of the conversation also.
We've actually, done virtual date with a couple Iron Tribe members, which
True.
is cool. Um, but just going and making the connection with other couples, we found couples that we connected with couples that live maybe 15 minutes away from us, some 20 minutes away, and we're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna get together, we're gonna have dinner, and just stay connected, because it means something to be in a circle of like-minded people. I want to be around married couples who actually like each other, who actually like spending time together, and who actually value their marriage, and it's not just like, oh, it's whatever, no, what we got going on is what we got going on. No, they saw fit to spend money, hard earned cash,
Invest.
invest their time in coming and saying, hey, we want to be better, we want to improve, we want to climb that ladder, we want to be phenomenal. So
And,
that's one of the reasons.
and we all have stuff to work on.
All have
Everybody
stuff to work on.
has stuff to work on. So it's not like anybody is there saying, oh, I want to be around a bunch of other perfect couples. No, that's not even it. Not even close, because A, you're not perfect. B, we're not perfect. B, nobody is. I said A, B, B. A, B,
I was
and then
gonna let it go.
C. There's no
It's
such thing as
okay.
a perfect couple, but knowing that you have shortcomings, but you recognize that there's other people that are working on themselves, and you want to surround yourselves, like we talk about, with an iron tribe people. Just as iron sharpens iron, we as couples
Should be sharpening each other.
always.
Hmm.
And this helps you stay accountable and motivated to continue investing in your relationship.
Hmm.
And that's the wonderful thing about it. As a matter of fact, one of the pastors that had attended, he and I, just by happenstance, happened to get up early in the morning, 6 a.m. in the morning, to go walking out in Lake Tahoe, because the lake was amazing. And we were right there in God's
Beautiful.
majestic country. And
Hmm.
I thought, I don't want to just lay. I was wide awake. Like, I'm not going to just lay here. I can lay down at home. Why don't I get out and walk? And he had to actually go and get he was supposed to go move the car so he can actually take the stuff out of the room and put it in the car. We ended up walking for 30 minutes around the complex and around the lake, or the portions of it, to where we could actually see it, just to have a conversation.
Hmm.
And that was a major part of it, just making that connection with another man that is also trying to grow his marriage.
Hmm.
It didn't matter that he's married for 2 years. I've been married for 26 years. he was pouring into me and I was pouring into him. And we even had a conversation. We connected today. We had a conversation today, just follow up after the conference, the meeting after the meeting, so to speak. And we're looking forward to continuing this fellowship. That's what you have to gain. One of the things you have to gain when you go to this marriage conference. There was a breakout session where after all the couples were together and we taught our portion, there was a breakout of the men and the women. So men folk got to handle some men stuff. The women got to handle some, women stuff. And it's nice to be able to break it down because there's no pretenses. There's no masks. It's safe.
I was about to say, that's the thing. It's safe. It's a very safe space. No judgment, yeah, we talked about it was deep. We talked about some stuff.
Come on, share. Come on, tell me. No.
Anyway.
No, on our side, it was a cross between being, getting it from the pulpit and also getting it from the barbershop. There were some brothers there that were breaking down scripture based on some of the challenges that some of the men were having. And there were some guys that were giving some very practical, straight from the street, from the heart, ideas on how to actually meet some of the challenges and the obstacles. And it was just extremely valuable. So that's one of the things. Something else that you could actually gain. Well, let me ask you, what else do you think can you gain from a marriage conference?
There's a lot, but so just the information too, we're big on tools. We're big on, just little things that, well, I'll say little things, but yeah, it is the little things that will help you enhance, the day-to-day things. And there were a lot of tools there that we talked. Another couple, Pastor Swanigan, he was like, yeah, they do the check-in. And Lovey and I, we were like, we do the check-in, so it's like we didn't originate it, but
right. There's no copyright on it, but it was like,
no, but it was just good. There's nothing that makes me more happy when I hear another couple implementing things that we implement and it be successful. And I'm not saying that we taught them or we told them about it. We didn't, but that just goes to show that, okay, it works. I mean,
it's confirmation.
Confirmation, exactly. It works. So just finding new tools that will that can help you, in your struggle or whatever it is. It could be, like we said, the check-in that's a great tool. You may find something, how to deal with conflict, find some resolution with some conflicts. Communication is always key. How to effectively communicate, how to talk to one another. One thing that we talk about, and it's about learning how to, you need to learn how your spouse accepts, like, apologizes. What is that called? The apology test or apology language or whatever. But anyway, I'm all
Gary
over
Chapman
the place.
has a book, When Sorry Isn't Enough.
Yeah.
And he talks about taking an apology quiz. It's like an apology assessment to understand your apology style and how to not just how to apologize, but also how to accept apologies and to understand that there might be a different way that we each have. It's a great book. So,
I mean, things like that, like resources like that. I just love how there's so many different things that
not just tools,
that accessible,
but skill sets, sharing things. So you're looking at the check-in, right? Just check in. Like for us, we've always told you we're very transparent. I talked about it in the TED talk I did a couple of years ago, the TEDx talk I did a couple of years ago. And it was specifically about, we good? Our check-in is a 2-word check-in. It's that simple. We good? And it's random, any given moment. And if it's not good, we talk about it. If it is, all right, cool. Is there anything I need to do to make it better or whatever? But we have a conversation on it. And we're very, 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 very honest.
As a matter of fact, we had a check-in that evening. And we sat there and we talked, and it's so funny to me because a lot of times people think that when you are like we're us, we love each other, is obvious, and we speak to other couples or whatever, but people think that you don't still have challenges, and it's like, no, we still have challenges. I mean, we have mastered how to deal with our challenges. Now, when we talk, it's not taking it personal. It's not, I'm about to get mad because I don't like how you said it, or I could read Lovey's language, body language, and if I feel like, I'm like, okay, I might be making him feel some kind of way. He's starting to get flooded or whatever. So I'm gonna just, okay, we'll table this. And I don't use it, and he doesn't use, neither one of us, we use anything that we talk about. We don't weaponize any of it, We're just like, okay, I see that you're getting flooded, or I mean, I use flooded. I'm like, okay, I feel like you're feeling some kind of way. And I'm not being snarky or anything like that when I say it, because what he has to say means something to me. What I have to say means something to me. So I want him to be fully invested in what I'm saying, So we just learn how to talk. And like I
Right.
said, we had a very open and honest conversation at the conference,
And you have to be open to receiving new skill sets, new perspectives,
Mhm.
new tools, to help improve your communication, deepen your intimacy. There was a lot of talk about intimacy, and enhance the overall quality of your marriage, of your relationship.
Mhm.
It's one of those things where these skills are going to often include, ways to overcome, or I should say not overcome, but to deal with conflict resolution, to effectively enhance your communication style, improve your emotional intelligence, or at least teach you that there is such a thing as emotional
That's what to
intelligence.
say, because a lot of people don't know that.
There's problem solving and so much more that you're able to access. I know that we gave away over $500 worth of merchandise to all the attendees that were there, in the way of tools, things that we believe in.
Mhm.
you know and so, and that's not glorifying us. It's just that we believe in it that much that we gave it away to this group as a gift, because we believe in the covenant of marriage that much. And by attending a conference, you can gain insights from, let's call them experts. There was over 750 years of marital
Yeah,
experience.
combined, all the couples had to stand up. I love that part. All the couples stand up and they say how long they've been married, and some of them even told their origin story, which is so super cute, especially the older one.
Oh my God.
I love, 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 love listening to the older ones talk about, how they met and how they got together. Because it was a different time than it is now. Like Mrs. Anderson, she said she was checking him out, and he went fishing or something, and he would, how she said something about he went fishing, and he got hooked or something like that. It was really cute the way that she said it, though.
But yeah, married 62 years,
Mhm.
and the love in their eyes, and watching them dance.
Oh yeah, we had a
Fully functional couple. I mean, they were out there doing their
well,
thing.
he was sitting down in the chair,
Yeah, he was, and it was funny.
but
But
it
there's
was a
another couple
link.
of 59 years. There's another couple that was 30, quite a few couples that were 30 plus years, 30, 40. That was encouraging, because so often we felt like, more times than not, we're one of the tenured couples in the groups that we've been involved with. And I love the fact that we were just one of the babes.
Smack in the middle, kind of.
Kind of, yeah, kind of, and even potentially like on the lower end
Hmm.
of the spectrum. That was amazing to me. And I love being in a room to listen to what I consider to be experts in the way of overcoming adversity within their marriages.
And just the joy that they were like, yeah, I've been coming for however many years, and just looking forward to what the weekend had in store. You know, Nothing like, oh yeah, well, I've been here before, or I that was never anyone's. No one ever came across like that. They were like, yeah, well, we'll see what we got this time. Everyone was excited about being there.
And that was the beauty of it. Like, okay, so shout out, I have to give a shout out, um, to Tim and Angela Jamont,
Pastor Tim.
Pastor Tim, because they were chairing the board for CMCR as a pertain, for the conference. And they also have been attending the conference for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 20 plus years that they've actually been attending. Let that sink in. Attending marriage conferences for 20 years. There's a reason. If you ever wanted the answers to the test,
Hmm.
right? Somebody's like, "Oh, I got the answers to the test," and you're like, "Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing."
I ain't gonna cheat.
I go, look. Marriage. If there's ever going to be an opportunity to cheat in a marriage, this is the way. Here's your cheat code: attend marriage conferences, right? And actually, I think I just changed the name of the podcast or the name of this episode. It's going to be the cheat code for marriage.
Cheat code for marriage. Okay.
Cheat code for marriage, because that's exactly what it is. It's an opportunity, like we said, to be around. So I think that learning new skills and being exposed to new tools is the second thing that I think is extremely important. So
Well,
that
go ahead. Well, I was gonna say, and then you talk about, like you talked about, building intimacy and um, just being able to focus on each other
Hmm.
without. I think I already said it, kind of in with the outside distractions and stuff, but that is so important. It's so important, and not only do you just sit and focus on each other, you're doing things. There's activities that
Oh man.
that you do. We have some fun activities there,
Oh, we had a blast. We had a lip sync contest,
Yes.
To some old songs. It was group activities.
It was- yeah.
If you go onto our social media, for Married into Crazy, you'll also see that she was the peanut butter to my jelly.
Yeah, I was the peanut butter too. I was trying to be the jelly, but
No, I'm jelly because you sweet on me, or something like that.
okay.
But it was really good. I mean, so no, it was fun. It was fun. But I was gonna say the third thing, honestly. So the first thing was to connect with other like-minded couples, right? So, to connect
I'm sorry.
with other married couples.
Oh yeah.
The
Got
second
you.
one
Yeah.
was to learn new skill sets as well as be introduced or gain exposure to tools that you can use. I'd say the third thing would be strengthening your bond. It's kind of you mentioned it,
I was
kind
like,
of.
well, I kind of said, but okay.
But I think strengthening a bond, by attending a marriage conference, it gives you the opportunity, like you said, just to focus. But it includes the activities, exercises, to really build out your intimacy, deepen your connection, build trust, but also give you the opportunity, again, without distractions, to hold hands and walk and talk without a timeline of, okay, well, we got to hurry up and get back because of the kids.
Just make sure that when you walk and you talk, you stay in a lower altitude. I thought my heart was gonna burst.
She had me concerned, especially after the medical scare from last year concerning her heart. I'm like, okay, look now, we all the way up here.
I was like, Lord.
So we 2.5 hours away from home. So don't be playing.
No, but no, it you know, one thing, like I said before, I am not in by any way, any shape, an outdoor type of individual. I am so cool staying inside. But when we were in Tahoe, when you say beautiful, oh my goodness, it was so beautiful. It was incredible. The view of the lake and the mountains with the snow in the background. It was just majestic. And then when you're up there and you're feeling that feeling, like we're strengthening our bond. We walked. I mean, Lovey and I hold hands all the time anyway, but it felt kind of different
Yeah.
while we were walking. Well, it probably felt different too because I was holding on for dear life so I wouldn't pass out.
No, but we walked we went on the pier and
Mhm.
just got out there and just looked at the water and just really was able to take in
It
all the
was
majesty.
serenity.
Ooh,
You
I like
know,
that, serenity.
it was serenity. It's something about big bodies of water that when you just stare from me, I could just stare at I could just stare out at the water forever. I remember when we were on a cruise, the last cruise that we were on, and I could just stand at the balcony and just look at the water. I don't know what it is, the cleansing of it or whatever. And then when the moon was shining on it, oh, it was majestic. But sorry.
No, and that's a great word, serenity. The serenity of the environment, the serenity of the experience allows you to relax, to be still, to listen and focus on each other,
Mm-hmm.
right? It allows you to actually get to the point where you deepen your understanding of each other,
Mm-hmm.
which is important. We had a phenomenal talk about sex. And no, I'm not going to tell you what we talked about. But let it be known, she told me I had to put the leather away and no more. No,
Because you weren't listening.
no, no. But it was one of those things where she and I had a chance to just sit down. And again, there was nobody tugging at us in any direction because, we had to go do this. It wasn't time bound. Like, oh, we've only got so much time. And so there's that anxiousness of being home at times. There it was just like, okay, let's just sit here and talk.
Mm-hmm.
We prayed together. We pray together every day, but it was different. And sometimes these are the things you can't get anywhere else. And you should really strive to attend at least one marriage conference a year.
The other good thing too, I feel like for me, it's like when I go somewhere and I don't know someone, it makes me feel closer to you. So a lot of couples, when you go places or you go to a marriage conference and you don't know what to expect, you may not know anyone there, you kind of get closer to your spouse. I mean, I'm hoping anyway. I know I do that. I was like, you better not.
She did that in the beginning, y'all.
You better hold it. Don't you wait till we get to the room. You gotta use the bathroom.
Okay, hot topic. Here we go. I wish I had an alarm and sound effects. Where? Hot topic. HOT. Honest, open, and transparent. That's how it started with her clinging to me a little bit because she didn't know anybody. By the end of the conference, I was like, "Where's my wife?" She was talking to everybody, walking around, taking pictures, and
okay, I was taking pictures.
A ton of pictures. Look, she was making plans for dinner dates with the other couples, and they're like, the brother I talked to today was like, "Well, apparently our wives have talked," and it was like they're making play dates for the husbands.
So funny. Look, shout out to the pals too, because she said, she's like, yeah, we don't live that far from you. She goes, I'm coming over your house and I'm coming over, put my feet up. I said, I'm gonna let you. Just let me know when. It was just really funny. It was really funny.
It was a great weekend.
Yeah, and great.
And in all seriousness, this really is a cheat code for marriage. It's an easy one, and there's a variety of different conferences that you can go to. You just have to just do a Google search. Take a look at what is out there and commit. It's an investment of time, a little bit of resources, and the resources that you commit can be replenished in some way, shape, or form. But what you risk by not going, it's not just your marriage, but it's your mindset. You risk not investing in probably one of the most important things of your life. And it's not an expense. Do not look at it as an expense. Look at it as a true investment in your marriage. We got there, and unbeknownst to us, our cousins were there. We didn't know they were going. They didn't know we were going. They didn't know that we were facilitating, that we were, actually on the agenda. And
I had a coworker I saw there, and she was totally surprised. Well, I was surprised too, but yeah.
Snooks' brother attended. Now, we knew he was going, but we didn't know that he signed up because one day I was talking to him, say, yeah, we've been invited to actually go to, and I expect him. He's like, yeah, we're signed up. We're going to that. So it was funny that all that transpired, and it was just, it was amazing. And you have to go, and find something that appeals to both of you.
Yeah. So let me just really just throw this out there real quick for some people who may think otherwise. Going to marriage conferences and retreats is not just for people who are having challenges in their marriages. We always think, we think of coaching, we look at therapy, it's almost like we look at anything that will enhance us as, oh, I don't need that because I'm okay. Or, it's never like, oh, that sounds like a great idea to, like I said, get me from, good to great to phenomenal. It's just you're like, well, I don't need improvement, so why would I go to that? Why would I? It's not just for couples who are having challenges. It's like I said, it's the cheat code.
It is a cheat code. Yeah.
Well, like Lovey said, I should say it's the cheat code. So don't ever misunderstand or ever think that the only reason people go to marriage conferences or retreats is because they're having challenges or there's something wrong in their marriage. No, they thought enough of their marriage to invest and say, you know
Amen.
what, I think we can do better, because we can always do better.
Come on.
We can always do better. So, um, just keep that in mind when you start looking or when you decide to not look. It's not just about issues or challenges. It's about coming and being around people who love to be with their spouses or just want to enhance.
Right. We had mentioned, we gave a shout out to Pastor Tim and Angela and uh, the Jamaat. And I mentioned that they had been attending this conference for 20 plus years. Not because they've got 20 plus years of problems and they need to go.
Right.
They have a phenomenal marriage because they've been attending for 20 plus years.
And they want to pour back into other people.
They have a heart. It's on their spirit to pour into other couples because of what they've received.
Mm-hmm.
And just as we do, just as
The other couples
the
that are on the
Stricklings and
executive
how-
board, yeah,
all these
the
other
Rose,
individuals,
my cousins.
right, the Swanigans. It was just there's a lot that you can actually gain, and we're just encouraging you to actually take the time to seek out a marriage conference and to ensure that you make the time for it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're ever in the area looking for a destination, please take a look for, and we can speak highly and recommend, the CMCR. If you look up cmcrsacramento.org, you can actually see the organization, and they've been doing this since 1979. And we encourage you to join,
Mm-hmm.
to come in and hang out next year, because we absolutely positively plan
We'll
on
be
attending.
going back, yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
So, hey, hopefully we've given you some reasons to actually attend a marriage conference, particularly if you're looking for that cheat code. And in the meantime, if you're looking for some additional training when it comes to different ways to up your game when it comes to marriage, to go to the next level, whatever that may be, if you're going from needs improvement to good, if you want to go from good to great, if you want to go from great to phenomenal, wherever you are, take a look at the Raise the Bar marriage series that we have available, and you get to set the price. It's not us saying that it's going to cost X, Y, Z. Some of you know the story that Snooks said, I don't want to charge what we charge, even though people were buying it and giving testimonies. She wanted to remove all barriers. Remember, she did. I was like, nope, let them pay. No, just playing. But she wanted to remove all barriers. So you can actually go to raisethebarmarriage.com and look at the testimonials and see the 18-part video series and go ahead and pay what you believe the value is that you're looking for in your marriage. That's going to be able to assist you. It might be a tune-up. It might be getting to the next level. It might just be saying, hey, we just want to make sure that we've got some additional tools and resources like we've talked about. Again, that's raisethebarmarriage.com, and the link will be in the show notes. We'll also put a link for the CMCR Sacramento, so that way if you're interested in checking out that particular marriage conference, that you have a path to stay in touch. And I would say fill out their forms so that way you can be on their mailing list and they can make you aware of the next location. I believe it's going to be in Tahoe again, but you never know. Things do change. So, but you can at least be aware of what it's happening. I know that wherever it's going to be in a beautiful location with a lot of beautiful people,
including us. Hey.
So until the next time,
Be blessed.
all right, y'all.
Bye-bye.